Hello fellow budgeters, my name is Brandy and you're watching From Debt to Dreams, and on this channel we're paying off over $400,000 worth of debt, but don't you fret, more than half of that is our mortgage. Today we are starting a week-long video of my expense tracking, and I try my best to film a little bit every day, and I look at my online bank account every day, and then if I have any cash purchases, then I will log those in my expense tracking book, which is currently the one I'm using is from the Budget Mom. And so let's go through that. I put all of my purchases into categories. I highlight these, and then that helps me when it comes to closing out my budget at the end of the month. So here is, even though we're technically still in September, this September paycheck is mostly in October. And so I'm starting my October expense tracking. So we put in $16.20. It was our first part of our earned income. That's not how much our paycheck was. That's just how much I moved over from our income account into our expense account. And then our monthly tithes to our church came out. This is my mom paying me on Venmo for the horse-drawn carriage ride that I paid for her because she couldn't get her Venmo to work at the time, so we added in $20. And then we spent $8.66 at Aldi, which is our groceries. I put in the second half of what we need for this pay period, so I have $2,745 into our account. We filled up one of the vehicles with gas. Where is mine? I went to book club, so I paid for parking and I bought a book. My book club meets in my book. So I live in a town or near a town where they film a lot of things, and the bookstore that my book club meets in is the same bookstore they used for Whale of a Tale bookshop in The Summer I've Turned Pretty. I've never watched it, but apparently people really like it. So my husband had a therapy appointment, so there's his copay for that. I was kind of having a bad day on the day of book club, and I treated myself to some tropical smoothie for dinner. So then we come over here for our cash spending, and here's what happened with our cash stuffing. I don't go over these parts when I do my cash stuffing videos, but here is my husband's $20. And I wrote this down in three different times, but I really didn't need to. I could have just put it all together because I say it's all savings. But there is Christmas, the money for my play and pay, and then our savings. And like our sinking funds. And then this weekend we went to Walmart for our groceries, and that's the only place we went. So here is the leftover cash. Here's the change. All right, so we have 100, 20, 40, 60, 1, 2, 3. So we're gonna take these $3, put this 160 back in the grocery envelope, and we will use that this week because we didn't do a Costco run. And there's probably some things we missed. So we have a B buck, a G buck, and an A buck. So yay, I get one, and my husband gets one. And the A buck is actually, I'm not going to count that because it's not something that, it wasn't an earned income or anything. It's just $1. So what that is my oldest son found $1 in the parking lot at the beach when his grandfather took him to the beach. And for some reason, I don't know why. Well, I do kind of know why, I think. When we were grocery shopping over the weekend, the kids were like throwing a major fit, and I was like, just kind of over it. So I was like, okay, what if I pay you guys, what if I give you an $8 budget and you guys can you guys can get something for $8. Well, it ended up being this big major ordeal, and my husband was making deals with the kids and they were trying to go over budget and everything. So I kind of freaked out on the kids and with my husband too, and was like, I don't understand. I'm trying to do something nice. And I'm saying to you guys, you have $8 to spend at Walmart, and everybody's trying to change their minds and all these other things. And I was like, I'm never doing this again. I'm not going to be this nice again. This is ridiculous that we're having this much trouble with this. And, so we all kind of calmed down after a bit of a freak out. And my oldest, Colin, he's like my little empath. He was like, Mom, that dollar that I found, you can keep it. I think that you need that dollar. And I'm like, I don't need that dollar. And he's like, no, you need it. And I was like, well, let's just put it into your savings. Like, when I give them money, they put it into 3 jars. They have a save, spend, and give jar. And I was like, let's put it in one of your jars. And he goes, no, Mom, I want you to have it. So I'm putting it in his little dollar envelope, because he wouldn't let me put it in his jar. And he told me that if he saw it in his jar, he would take it out and give it back to me. So I don't know what that was all about, but anyway, sweet little boy. Okay, my friends, that's it for Monday. I'll see you tomorrow, Tuesday. Here's what happened. On Sunday, I asked my husband to get me some Starbucks, because I had to work both services at church and I wanted some coffee. And then on Saturday, in between soccer games for the boys, we had Arby's. Some of us had Arby's and some of us had Bojangles. So those came out. Yesterday, we decided to go to Chick-fil-A for dinner, and we paid for cash. And then we had to get a couple of things that we missed over the weekend for groceries from Walmart. So that was $13, which leaves us with $6 to put in our savings. Here's that $6. Here's some change. All right. So we have, move that, whoops, an F, an F, an F, an F, a C, and a D. So we have $4 going into the emergency fund and $2 going into Colin's. So here's Colin. So we have 1, 2, all right, and then the emergency fund, here it is. We are adding 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So we should have $18 in cash in here now. Let's just count that up real quick. 5, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, and 18. Great. Once that hits 50, we will throw that in the emergency fund account. All right, that's it for Tuesday. We'll see you tomorrow. I didn't get on yesterday because work was a little weird. But here I am today. My kids have been at the been out with the in-laws camping this week. Sorry if you hear my fan in the background. I forgot to turn it off. Anyway, here's what happened. Nothing much. So Spotify came out. We categorized that under fun. I made an Amazon purchase. My kids needed some new belts for school. Here is my student loan payment coming out. And then we picked up a couple of things from Lowe's Foods for a dinner that my husband made. We just decided to use the debit card instead of the cash for that, because all I had at that were just $100 bills, and I didn't really feel like breaking a $100 bill. So we just used what we have in our checking account. That's it for Thursday. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye. we made it. My children are not back from camping with their grandparents yet. They should make their way home in about an hour or so, and I can't wait to see them. It's nice to not have to worry about like feeding them or entertaining them or whatever, but also like I just miss them. I really enjoy being around my kids. And so it's been interesting to not have them around. Anyway, here's what has happened. Here's $300 that I get every month from my side hustle. I put it into our checking account. My husband, Jason, had a migraine the other day, and so he went to like a gas station to get a couple of energy drinks. The caffeine from the energy drinks really helped the migraines go away. So he got some of that, and then while he was there, he bought some gas for the car. I think he's driving our Rogue right now. But that's all we've got going on this Friday. Let me know what you're doing down in the comments this weekend. I will be talking with my children's pastor tomorrow morning, and then I will be maybe going to soccer games. I might miss soccer games because of my talk with my children's pastor, and then we'll just be doing our grocery shopping and regular weekend things. So, well, my friends, I hope that you have a lovely weekend, and I will see you back here on Monday for a mini Monday as we try to finish all of our Jonas Brothers minis so we can get that money for some merch at the concert at the end of the month. All right, friends, I'll see you later. Bye.